Talk about rest, I sleep when I'm dead. Motherfucker wanna come through tripping. Listen, I'm a ribbit, I'm a kung fu. Tell them I'll be ready if you want it, you can get it. If it's heavy, I'm
Welcome everybody to TruExact Show. I'm here with Brian, and our special guest today is Baltimore's own rapper BOSSMAN. What's up, man?
Chilling. Happy to be here. Feeling electric.
Really cool, man. Like I said to you before we started recording, I've been a fan since like 06, 07 era. Listen to AO, Baltimore Anthem, Off the Record. So it was really cool to reconnect and find you on Instagram and everything. And I'm really happy you're doing the show with us, man.
No, I appreciate the love.
Yeah, no problem. So we're here in Jersey, so East Coast, you know, not too far from Baltimore.
Oh yeah, y'all right up the street.
Yeah, right up the street, you know. So we want to know first, before we get into some of the newer stuff you're working on, man. I always wonder what people I grew up listening to, like your upbringing, how you got into hip hop, like how you started off making music.
So originally, first got like in tune with music, but I say about 5th grade. I went through a weird transition when my parents both got incarcerated and got locked up. So I tapped into Kriss Kross, like just being young back then, like Jump, you know, all that.
Kriss Kross, It's a Shame was one of the greatest songs I ever made. Warm It Up,
it was fire.
Like, I can recite every word. I missed the bus right now, but I won't do it.
That was my whole lifestyle when I was young, and it was like I tapped out of the music. So I did like my first talent show one. I did the Kriss Kross, did the whole thing, clothes backwards, the twist of my hair type vibe. Then I took it more serious because, like I said, then I was just mimicking other people, like sort of like karaoke. And then when I my parents being locked up, I started hearing Tupac and like Nas, and just Tupac was like real dope on putting out black stories or trauma in like a cool way, because rap was always so braggadocious, but he was like the first person to put some emotion into it. So I took heed to that, and then like Illmatic really did it for me. I remember I got the bootleg. When I heard that, I knew I was just gonna be a rapper for the rest of my life. Like, so I was just like, it's done after that.
That's pretty like crazy. Like, yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, man. How you could take such a bad thing, traumatizing thing that happened, and twist it around and make it music. So like essentially Kriss Kross, like, you know, veered you in the right direction out of all the artists out there.
Nah, you know what's dope about that? I ended up, my first deal was with Jermaine Dupri.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I want to get into that.
Laws of Attraction was really real.
So when you were putting on these talent shows, taking it more seriously, you found your own voice, if you will. Like, when did you know like you had somewhat of an upbringing, or not an upbringing, a following? Like, at what point did you realize, all right, I'm better at this than people I'm around, and this is something that like I can pursue?
It's when I got to the point where so I started off like wanting to record myself. Like, my uncle was always like a person who had a big booming system. He used to play like all the DJ. So I'm the Baltimore town. If y'all ain't aware of this, we got Baltimore club music. That's how real sound, right? So he used to have all the mixtapes of all that playing. So I knew it was a possible way. He was on the news one day. He was just a backup dancer, but he was on the news, and I seen him get some fame off of that. So it was like, oh, I'm attached to somebody where this could really be real. I could like really do it. You know how you gotta have belief first. Right. You gotta see something to kind of believe it. So it was kind of, once I seen that on news one night, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna take it to the next level. I'm gonna do. I started recording myself, making up. I used to set up 3 different radios and record myself and do all this. And then I think it came from fruition when I started the NEK thing. I got in a group with a bunch of other brothers from my neighborhood, and we thought we was the firm, because you know, it's like about me being a big Nas fan. So we did our own version. I never been hip hop true thing with really stealing or mimicking, but being inspired by the firm or Queensbridge or what they was putting together, repping the neighborhood. So we sort of made Northeast Baltimore into like Queensbridge. So we gave out a bunch of free mixtapes. We used to put them in the tennis shoe stores, and through our own high school tour. It was the NEK Empowerment Tour. And the funny thing about it was we would go have a good message, have people talk about AIDS awareness, diseases, education. But our raps was sort of kind of vulgar because it's hip hop. And it's watching these kids, the way they stomach the balance of even to take the yin and the yang. Like, you need some of that, I don't want to call it ignorant reality image of what's really happening around you to even listen. Might tell you something positive. At least that's how my brain was wired, coming from Baltimore. So once I seen that happen and it had an impact on kids, I knew it was like oh, this is real. This is something I can really invest in and go really hard for, because of so many, it was saving people. Like, they was enjoying the music at the same time, but they was listening to something smart. When you're in the streets, it's just so hard to listen to anything somebody telling you positive because there's so much negativity. But music could really do that to somebody and make them open to it. Yeah. You know, it's like in the Black communities, it was like when you grow up, you're a cornball if you do something right. Mm. That's how which is really false, but that's just how it was programmed.
Right.
So at that point, when I seen I could get the light into that, I was just like, all right, cool. And then I branched off from that and did my solo thing.
Well, did you face any backlash from trying to be like a conscious, more type rapper and trying to send messages, or no? Was it like welcomed?
And to be real with that, once I got into the music industry, I got backlash from that. It was hard. But once really in my city, it was embraced because I was like a little different. Like, people seeing so much negativity, so they was happy to see something that was uplifting. But once I got my first record deal, definitely I went through that. Like, when I got signed, trap music totally took over. It was like Lupe Fiasco and Kanye West was like the only people
right. So this
that was on the page that I was doing.
This was like 05, 06 then, around like the Mike Jones era, like the Southern era, right?
Yeah, it's funny you brought up Mike Jones. I did a bunch of shows on Mike Jones. I met him. He was abrasive. They used to get him, was like, you boss man, but they got Slim Thug, and not Slim Thug, but they talking from another boss perspective. But my whole boss man thing was like to be the boss of yourself. Like, you ain't really got to follow nobody else, just follow your own heart and what you really want to do. So it was definitely challenges then, but like, just to be real with you, on an independent level in my city, I actually got embraced. Yeah.
And that's another thing, and Brian, you could jump in right after this. Like, I always find that fascinating because, like, me and Brian were just talking about it because, you know, we make rap music too. And of course, like you said, mimicking people. We loved Eminem growing up because we were white boys. Like, whatever. Who cares?
Right.
Then we found our lanes, you know, and whatever.
No, that's dope.
Yeah, we were battling after 8 Mile at every party. but with the whole perception of just what's fake and real now with the industry, and even back then when it started to take the turn, it's frustrating, even as like an older fan, and I'm sure you who were at labels like meeting with figureheads, like, was it just like heartbreaking and annoying and frustrating hearing people who don't understand and have their ear to the streets what's really going on, and them trying to tell you what you have to be? How the hell do you? I would flip out. I have a temper. I'm about to flip this.
No, we can relate.
Right,
I guess y'all got into it. So as a hip hop fan, first, that's where it starts at. Yes, I was very. I think that's why I didn't work over there. Like, as much as I've respected Jermaine Dupri, I would battle with him about the decision, just because not that he's not a part of hip hop, but right. The music that he makes is not what I do. Like, I respect him for what he makes, but I'm not like lean with it, rock with it. I'm like, I don't two-step, so you really can't tell me what to do. Like, respect him, but you look at his track history with facts. He's not like Puffy and worked on Ready to Die. He don't got songs with Nas, or like even to this day with J. Cole's or Kendrick Lamar's, like people that really got a voice to do other things. Now, is he dope at what he does to make party music, make you want to dance? Yeah, but I don't really make dance music. So we had a clash. And that's why I said it was very unique, because I signed with him and I was inspired by Kriss Kross. Right. Maybe if he had approached and gave me some of It's a Shame or some Warm It Up Chris, because that was kind of hip hop, if you think back.
It was amazing.
But he totally was not in that bag. But we had talks. He was like telling me, Bow Wow don't even know a Jay-Z verse. We had them type of battles and go back and forth. But I think what his brand was, who Jermaine Dupri is as a hip hop artist, is that ain't who we know. You know, So Def, you know, this mascot person. So his brand didn't fit with mine. So the business, it was definitely frustrating as shit. It was definitely, because I knew I had a connection with him and we would talk. He told me I was a jewel, respected, but we couldn't figure out a way to make money with it.
Yeah. No, that sucks, man. That's cool. It's cool to hear the backstory though, because I always wonder like what happens behind the scenes and stuff. But go on, Brian.
What's it like to clash with someone like that? You know, because if you're coming up, like let's say, right, you catch a break and it's like you get signed by Jermaine Dupri, and it's like, yeah, you might have conflicting styles, but at the same time, it's like it's still Jermaine Dupri, you know?
Right.
Like he can still do shit for you.
If I'm being 1,000% honest, real, middleman, and I don't want to disrespect nobody that work with me. Like I'm still rocking with my original production company I was signed to, One Up Entertainment, and other people that was around me. you know how somebody, they was part of birthing something, they don't want to let it go to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so I couldn't really get to meet Jermaine and chill with Jermaine like how I met them. And that's what art is. Like when you creating art with people, y'all kind of got to really know each other. Like, shit, like what do we really doing this? So when he would open up his doors, it'd be checks and stuff involved that couldn't do it. And it was just a clash into that. So it's just like being older. I guess if I knew what I knew now, I would have never let nobody have no power over my art. Yeah.
Right.
Like it's funny, like the world works now with like the internet now, artists can just be themselves and then hire people.
Right.
If it was always like that, I'd have been straight. Me and Jermaine probably would have had it good because I'd have told him exactly what I want. Basically, I'm gonna do this, I'm my own boss, but I want to rest with you on this level. And everybody in my circle would have been the same way. And I think I'd have had a way successful career.
That's what, and it's funny you mentioned that because I want to veer into that next. Like when you were coming up in the 06, 07 era, and I mean there was a buzz, man. Like even here in Jersey, like we were listening to, and I want to know, like how did you adjust to like where the MySpace age took over, where there was no longer CDs and mixtapes? It was now out of nowhere, just like the digital age. Like for you as an artist growing up, like how did that, was that a culture shock, or did you manage to like successfully veer into that lane?
Well, again, to be real, obviously I was able to merge into it because I had a deal with MySpace. Like I've met Tom there. I think once that deal went left, it tarnished me as an artist. Like I think that probably was my breaking point. I was just like, fuck this shit a little bit. Like it's too much because the same identical thing happened. Like I got there, I get to meet the other people around there, they loving it, and then the label goes out of business because that's what Virgin Records did. How I got up to deal with JD. I got all my records clean, got my masters and stuff, but it wasn't like fun no more. Like as an artist, I wasn't inspired the same way no more. It was like it's too much business and politics, kind of ruined it. So I think I probably could adapt it further. Like I wouldn't post and get into all this Instagram music wave because for a minute, I guess when it started after the MySpace era, the Instagram took over, the music was so whack. Just to be real, it's like I ain't gonna knock it because it's always been fun hip hop music, but it wasn't like a balance. It wasn't like if we back in the day, you could hear Chubb Rock and still hear NWA.
Correct. Yeah.
You could hear like it just went some way that I just totally wasn't with. So I was like, I'll do it, but fuck this shit, just to be real. It's like I'm uninspired. The only reason why I got into it, like you said, as a kid, it was an outlet. I was inspired. It was something I thought I could change my life and help other people change theirs. Once that's gone, you kind of just like, I don't know. So if people seen a gap where I wasn't really doing it like I was supposed to be doing on a high level, it was more that it just wasn't in me.
Got you. I mean, go on, Bryce. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I feel like it's just to like relate to that a little bit. Like I feel like it's kind of tough when you try to make money off your passion, only because when you start, like they're two tough things to mix, because when you start encountering those problems like that and you have the obstacles that get in the way, it's like you start to lose the passion for it a little bit and like why you got into it in the first place. Like just for example, like I used to be a personal trainer. I loved working out. I went to school for it. I did all this stuff, right? I started working for a gym, and then it became all about sales and how much money I made and then this and that. And it was like, well, we got away from like actually working out. Like I don't give a shit about this anymore because all anybody cares about is money. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna figure something else out because I don't want to do this anymore. You know, it's ruining what I loved.
Right.
And it's tough. Like the same thing with music. It's like music flat out is a passion. That's creativity. That comes from your soul. And like when you mix money with that and then people telling you, oh no, you got to make it like this. Write something like this. Oh, you hear this? This is hot right now. So you got to make something like this. It's like, that's not my shit. That's not what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, it's the toughest thing. I think like now though, I think with one thing the internet did do, now it's evolved, because in the beginning I think it did waste music, but now it's just like, since you can see other people put out dope music and go viral, people can speech, they can be motivational, you know what I'm saying? We got the Nipsey Hussles, rest in peace. You still have the Kendrick J. Cole's, and then you still do have the quote unquote dumbed down version of hip hop. I mean, which is big. So I think everybody can play a lane now. You can get your own audience. So that's where you do got to think like what you're saying. It can't frustrate you. Be like, can you think like a business with your passion? Because you really can just do what you want to do. Then you got to step back and be like, all right, how you gonna sell it? Or put a team around you. Be like, after I turn the passion in, if I created it, somebody else got to sell it.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's always been like that. Like we don't get Nas if Columbia can't sell it.
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't hear that dope music. If he stays there, he's like just not to be funny, he's like Tragedy Gaddafi. Like you just somebody underground that we never heard.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it.
You gotta know how to play both sides of it. It's sort of like a relationship. Like as much as somebody could love you, the way the world is set up and America is set up, if your money is now, you might go through a struggle when somebody's supposed to down your money, but if your money ain't up to a certain point, how long can they even live with you if you can't hold up your end of the bargain? Yeah. It's going to die off. Trust me. The relationship is going to break.
Yeah.
So you got to get money today. You got to figure it out. It's tough, but you got to figure it out.
No, that's why after hearing you speak like that, it makes sense why you're in Baltimore giving the uplifting speeches. You should be a motivational speaker. I mean, seriously.
Appreciate that.
No problem, man. So if you go back, like, would you sign the deal now knowing what you know or just stay independent your whole career? Because these young kids, I feel, get taken advantage of, like with the getting signed at 19. There's no artist development anymore. It's just like they get thrown into the fire and new one comes in. So like if you had advice to younger dudes, would you even do it?
I think it got to be what type of person you is. Like, and we just going to speak hip hop because if we can tell we relate, like how y'all use Eminem, and let's keep it there. I think like Nas is my favorite rapper, but I would say Jay-Z is the GOAT because he's the only person I know that could, no matter how he did it, if it was Dame Dash that influenced him or was around, or maybe because he was a drug dealer big at one time, so he understood hustling and hustling his craft. It's like you gotta be able to balance it all to survive in this shit. It's a difference between doing hip hop. We all can just make a song, but if I want to be in the music business, I have to do with the music business take over. The same way I'm passionate about what it is being a lyricist, and I study what words mean, and I put that together. I gotta also study how the business work if I want to do both. Now, if I just want to be an artist and I just want my voice to be heard, I make money later, then I think you should sign with a label. You could let somebody control the rest of your stuff because your happiness may just getting your voice heard, and it's really nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like if that label can put you on a platform that you're felt by others, and maybe you might go start up a whole nother business, but you're willing to sacrifice this and give it away a little bit. That's cool. But you got to look yourself in the mirror. It's like, are you cool with that? Now, if you just want to be like, I want to own everything because I did it, then you want to go with the hard shit of hiring everybody, talking to everybody, the blood, sweat, and tears, putting your own money up, making life. The average independent label is started from streets,
right?
From illegal money.
Okay.
You know how many risks that took for people to do that?
Right.
So you gotta really believe. You was like, I go to jail for this.
Yeah,
that's what they really doing. These are facts. So if it's like, but some people might be like, I don't. Cool. So I give it up. So I'm not telling no artist ever not to sign with a label or stay independent. I think that's some bullshit they put in. Everybody ain't built to be their own boss. It's actually cool. That's part of being your own boss, to know what you're not. Just what you know what you're good at. It's actually cool to be like, I'm not good at this. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's why I told Brian when he was training people not to choose me because I'm horrible at lifting and losing weight. I was like, you know what, man, you need to give up. And that's why he quit his job.
So yeah.
I think it gotta be in you. Like the whole thing, it's gotta be in you. Like even with the company I started, I don't think at the end of the day, I'm shooting for my company to be like the next Def Jam or something. I would probably fall back and let somebody else run it and sell it, build it up as a brand, and then give it to a corporation because you got to be kind of harsh in business.
Yeah. No, that's a good advice,
you can't have no emotion.
Right.
You can't have no emotion when you're doing business.
You know what the thing is too? It's very difficult to like give your all when you wear a bunch of different hats. Like especially independent, because if you are the marketing manager, you're the artist, you're the engineer, you're the mastering engineer, you're making the beats, like it's cool. You got many talents, but at the same time, it's like somewhere's gonna slack because you can't 100 to everything.
Preaching to the choir. Trust me, I have this argument with my team all the time. Like, what do you really want to do? because I need to figure that out if we're going to work together. You can't tell me you can do everything. That's impossible. A mosquito likes to suck blood.
Right.
And the bee like to make honey. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they both fly.
Yeah.
You got to have something you really care about.
Yeah, no, it's simple, but it makes sense, actually. I never thought of that. They both fly. One makes honey, one... So I'm going to start using that at my job. And they're going to be like, what are you talking about, kid? But whatever.
They used to get me like that when I was young. It was like, yo, what are you talking about? We don't need to hear this. They used to call me Sharif off Minister South. I was like, but now all my friends are, because the information is like, it's funny to watch the world. It's like, it's actually cool to be conscious now. So it's like, because people that went through so much trauma, so now they want to listen.
Yeah, makes sense.
It is.
So, like, when you said like you lost your passion for it, and like you there was a big gap, and we're getting to the current time now in your career. When did you wake up one day and was like, you know what, like I got over this hump. I got to get out of this mind state, and like I'm coming back now. Like, was it a certain day? Did something happen? Did you have a speech with someone and they motivated you again?
Being unfocused, I guess I would just say, like, you get caught up. I got kids, relationships. You start doing it. And I realized I wasn't the best version of myself to none of them because I wasn't making myself happy.
Okay.
So I was selling, like how you saying, doing too much. I'm trying to be a husband today, be a father this day, be a rapper this day, be a business owner this day. Like, I started frustrating myself. And then one day you just look in the mirror and was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do to make me happy? And then respectfully, everybody else will fall in place.
Nice. All right. Man. That's cool though. That's
difficult because, you know, it's like you just said, like, you get caught up in life, like shit starts happening. And it's like you have a passion for this one thing, but you're responsible for other things too. And it's like you can't neglect that stuff at the same time because you're kind of an incomplete person in that way.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
When you fulfill each kind of, like, if you have like 5 cups, right? If you put a little bit of liquid in all the cups, you know, you could pour it into other one, like a bigger one, which is you, and it'll fill it.
Right.
You know? You could bring that to like being a father, being a business owner, being a rapper, being anything, you know, but when you slack on one of them, it's like you start dragging.
It drags on because, like you said, if you fill that cup to your kids, even to your relationship person, your business partner, whatever it is, you have so much confidence of what you can bring to the table to show somebody you'll want to stand on because you feel complete as yourself.
Yeah.
I also have to say, you guys have way better metaphors than I do. With the cups, the bees, the mosquitoes. Like, I am just out of my element here. I have nothing. I'm just sitting here drinking my coconut water like, yeah, maybe I'll have something to add here. Nothing. That's why I host the show and let everyone else just take off and go with their metaphors. All right, really quick, I do want to get into the one you wrote, the letter to Jay-Z. Like, what inspired that, the song?
It's so funny. It's a guy from my city, Stokey. He's big. Like, he was incarcerated with Emory. And that whole bet on yourself thing, like, the dude Emory really wanted to say, he was his inspiration when he would talk to people, was like the bet on yourself and to do stuff. So I watched, like, again, I'm a fan of hip hop first, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so you kind of look up to these people. I mean, it's Jay-Z. Like, it's like he's like a black god at the end of the day. So, but I was smart enough to know that, like, he was still, I would say, getting his message across, but using it hustling, right? Because I was like, all these things that you talked about, Jay-Z, when you dropped 444 about owning houses, do all this investment, that's not how you built your brand. You built your brand off of telling us, yo, the 4.6 is way harder than 4.0. So you shitted on everybody who had the 4.0. And that was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You told us to rock all these platinum chains and all that shit. So I was like, are you going to really tell these kids how you got there? Because it's cool that you're there now and married, but it's like, they got to be 20. They got to take their drug money. And I think he did his own version. I did meet Jay-Z. And it was a funny thing in Bahamas when I was signed with Jermaine the thing in the elevator. And my manager was like, I got the next one up. And he just laughed. I'm like, that's what they all said. Now, I met Dame Dash before in the elevator, ironic, in New York City when I was first shopping my deals. And the energy and conversation was way different. It wasn't that arrogant. it was just like, oh, y'all out here grinding, doing your thing. So if you ever, even Kanye said it, like Jay-Z is sort of an asshole, but that's probably what make him like that. I mean, R.I.P. Kobe. A lot of people said playing with Kobe and playing with Michael Jordan. Yeah, people that's that dominant really just put pressure on other people. So I respected it first. Right. So that's what I'm saying. This is not no type of diss record. Right. It was just questions that I had. It was like, damn, I'm a little bit confused because which one is it? If you listen to the song, it was like, because I felt like he just told it in his own way, but you didn't really give people the blueprint. You ain't tell them how to get to your stuff. You just said, don't do it. Like you just dissing the OJ shit. And it was like, okay, be OJ and talk all this. Wait, but hold money to your ear, but we don't call that money over here. So you shitting on the kids with all that money. You ain't say, don't hold the money to your ear, break it down and flip it this way. Like how I thought like Nas or Common or certain uplifting, even Kanye West, certain uplifting artists do. So it was just a challenge in hip hop. I just wanted to have a conversation.
No, it was cool, man. It was really insightful. I liked it. All right. Get into like what you're currently working on now, what you've been up to the last couple of years and whatnot, if you want
to. Is Get Money. You see, I got the Get Money shirt. So it's like, it's really go back to that topic. I think I'm obviously not as rich as somebody like Jay-Z, but I'm still here to have these conversations. I am my own investor. I am spending my own money. And I took other routes that what I would say was not the routes that I should have took. Like to be able to have money, and I learned that we can use the same thing that a record label does or the government things access to us. Don't got to be the street where we can start investing ourselves and look at ourselves like a business. Like I think with hip hop, when you start rapping, you don't like the companies look at you like a business, your jewelry, your image, and all that is right. But we will literally go out here and sell drugs or penitentiary time to look a certain way. And so in our brain, we like, I'm investing in my image because I know this can make me money, but you're not setting it up that way. Like you're not writing jewelry off. You're not writing your clothes off. You're not video off. You're not getting your invoices up. So it was like the showing up was like, all right, if you taking it, if you know you got a voice, you are a brand, you are a business. So if you bet on yourself, sell yourself as that, get your LLC, go out here. If you got $100,000, if you got $20,000, you can put that in an account and get double that money and use leverage of credit. Like if you really look at hip hop, they actually like, it's no way that Moneybagg Yo or Lil Baby, even if they are, I think it's just for show to go into a jewelry store and spend $100,000 in cash. Who the fuck walks around with $100,000 in cash? Yeah. Not, I mean, at least all the rich people I don't do that. They gonna write it in check so they can write the shit off. I'm telling you, I think they're doing that. I think they just posting it because they know that influence to somebody else to see that. I don't even believe that's how they buying that shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, it doesn't make sense.
They got financial advisors. If they got accountings, they not letting them go spend that money recklessly like that. It was like back in the day when I found out, like we would go see everybody to pop bottles. Like remember the pop bottles in the club was a thing. Yeah. Then I found out meeting Jim Jones. He talking to me like that was one of the realest things when I did the record with remix with Jim Jones, and we got to sit down. He was like, bro, like when I go do this video with you, get the budget from the label. I'm gonna take you go shopping. They gonna give you all the clothes for free because with me and you just pocket that.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was like that was way back then, but I was so young I didn't even understand. I was like, that's game. And I was like, damn, that's why these people are rich. It's entertainment at the end of the day, and you just gotta look at yourself like a business and boss up. So that's like if I can give that message out to the people, artists that come from, that's my contribution to hip hop and music.
I even remember like back when like you were always sending like messages out. I think it was you. Did you do a concert and you had like and we can edit this out if you want, but you had like a shirt on that said like F the police, but it was crooked cops?
Oh no, so funny you called me because I was getting my hair done today.
Okay.
We was talking about, I was just talking about this case earlier today, like I swear to God. Yeah. I was down Moby, my friend got into a fight, hit somebody with a bottle, so I guess that was things, but I didn't have nothing to do with it. Come outside, I knew owners at the clubs and did it. Was getting harassed because of who I was, so they tried to put it on me. It was to the fact I even got my baby mother to call the police on the police because I felt threatened just the way they was harassing me. So I ended up just walking away, get away like I'm not tolerating this, and they jumped on me and it was all on the news and pulled it out. So that's what that came from, the crooked police, because they actually threw my case. The club owner bought my case, and then they basically the lawyers threw me under the bus.
Okay, all right.
So I never got money on my lawsuit, even though it was on film. That just let me know money is power, and who you know. If somebody's big enough, cancel your shit out. So that was just me having a voice of saying that. I mean, as we can see now with the Instagram, it's been happening to Black people in America for fucking years. I'm not the only one. It's happening way worse. I'm here no more because of that.
Right. Yeah, no, I just remember that, like a video of a concert you had 15, 14 years ago, man.
What's funny about that, though, the song I remade, I'm from the ghetto thing with Nobody Smiling, was the Rakim thing. That's when I first did auto-tune. And I was really beefing with the local radio station because they told me auto-tune wasn't cool to do at that time. Just before Wayne did it, everybody, just only when T-Pain was doing it.
Okay, got you.
So it was so funny for me to watch that shit take over music itself. Like, we in an auto-tune fucking century, but I was so on it, and my city was so slow. Now, listen, I'm just like, damn, they don't see it.
Yeah, that sucks, man. You knew it.
I was on that shit way before it happened.
Yeah, you saw the lane it was going. All right, so what? So I got sent your new song, "The Bad Guy." Had that come into fruition? That single, and like, is it like what are you working on now? New album, mixtape.
All right, so project mixtape, nothing. I'm just working on music, so I'm building it like to my fans that like art. First, I'm starting to, like I said again, treat my music like what it really is as art, as an artist. And sort of like my website, Following God, is like my own boutique.
Right.
Where you're going to be able to get music. You spend a bunch of money and then chasing views and all that and platforms. I'm not really kind of like in that. So Bad Guy will be on all streaming platforms. But I have a bunch of other music that's going to be dropping on a weekly for the Following God. I'm at God Flow Sundays. I'm just going to be dropping a record every Sunday for the fans that really rock with me. Because, you know, you got people that listen to your music, but then you got fans.
Yeah.
And as an artist, you make different music and different emotions. You know what I'm saying? This one song may live over here and this live over there. You know what I'm saying? I think we're in a world where we can understand that now. Like, you can just be yourself. Right. So I always wanted just to do what I originally do as a passion and have my own cult following. That's followguard.com. But I will share vibes with other people. So that brings you to the Bad Guy record that's on all streaming platforms. That's what a artist from my city, TMC the Don, he signed with Asylum Records. He's from Northeast Baltimore. He's like the young inspiration version. I mean, he ain't a lyricist like me, but I mean, the young kids got their own wave. Somebody got talented. We hooked up when we did a record. So I think it's feel important. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them OGs that's hating on the new generation. I feel like I can tap with them. Respectfully, I know everybody talk about Ayo and all these records, but Break Me Off is what I had when it wasn't cool to be a rapper and sing. If you listen to Off the Record, like my producer question, I was saying, I always could understand melodic music and still get the same emotion off somebody that's really lyrical. Like, you don't, I mean, if we really go look back, like Nas was singing.
Right.
Black Girl Lost, all that shit, but you don't hear it because they program you and think, oh, if you singing, it's corny. It's art. It's not corny to do nothing. It's just do what you feel.
Right. It's like, it's weird because they tell you growing up, like, don't be like everyone else. But the minute you try to be yourself, they ridicule you for it.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
because it's to
weird.
Control you. It's mind control.
Yeah. And that goes with the world. Anything, whether it's any media outlet, they want to control you. That's it.
So as far as an album, as an artist, I don't think I'm in that mode yet. But I'm releasing the classic album Law and Order on my platform, and I'm going to do a documentary on that, as well as doing like a I would call it, because I got the idea and concept originally from Moonwalker, because that's where Jay-Z got it from. I don't know if you know Michael Jackson did.
Yeah. Weird move. Was it the movie?
Yeah, Moonwalker. I did songs and videos,
movie.
and Jay-Z did it again. The Streets is watching. So I plan on, for my classic album, putting something together like that, because I think people still love that project, and I was in a good space. So I want to tell a story. I never shot videos to that because videos wasn't accessible back then.
Right.
Like, I have YouTube and all that. So I was like, I've been thinking about putting that and stepping into film.
That's cool.
Yep.
We'll let you go, Sumi. You've been more than gracious with your time. And I just have to say, we've done like over 100 interviews, and you're one of the more insightful people that we've talked to, bro. It's really fucking cool to hear. Just like the background and you just being uplifting, trying to like better people. It's really cool, man. Have to say that.
No, I appreciate that. That's gonna keep me thriving and keep going. So that's just share it with the world, and let's keep grinding. Anything y'all need from me, tap in and let me know what's good.
Yeah, and really quick, before I get to Brian's like last thing, if he has anything, one artist people might not think you like that like would surprise people. Throw it out there. Like I'm a huge, like I always say, I'm a big like Air Supply fan, Celine Dion. I don't care what anyone thinks. I love them. So like, is there anyone like random that you would put on your iPod when iPods are a thing, and then put the windows up so nobody hears?
So when I'm in a wave of music where I was like, I don't got no inspiration at the studio, I listen to Purple Rain.
Okay.
Like turn it up.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because I'm probably more of a Michael Jackson fan than Purple Rain, but I feel like whatever energy that Prince was putting in them records at that time, when I hear that song, it just had so much emotion to it. It was like, it put me in the zone. It's like, once you just want to live again. So I listened to that. I'm thinking, what would think of somebody weird? On the rap tip, I don't think somebody would think that I probably be really, I mean, they might do, because there's new wave. I'll be rocking with Lil Durk. I could listen, understand his music. I would think that would be the farthest way to stretch, because I'm about to tell you something funny. It's a couple songs, like rock songs, that I hear and get inspired. I don't even know the people names though. Just to be real. Like, I hear that song,
they just come on late at the bar and you sing them out loud.
Turn it up. It's like, I think music is an emotion. If it can make you feel a certain way and get you through a day,
I'm so happy you like Kriss Kross. Because I had an older brother growing up, so like I was only like 4 or 5 when they came out, and like my brother had the Totally Crossed Out album. We would watch a video we bought on VHS, and JD was on it introducing them, and that's where the I Missed the Bus video was on. And I don't come across a lot of people who like Kriss Kross. We had one other dude, the one dude who he does battle rap host in Lush One. He was the only other dude who I knew like even mentioned Kriss Kross in an interview. So that's so cool how you did that, I have to say.
Yeah, that's funny. That's why I said it was. I ended up signing with Jermaine Dupri. I guess you do attract the energy that you put out.
Right. Not me. I mean, I was wearing backwards stuff, dressing like him, and I never, met Jermaine Dupri, but it is what it is. My mom just slapped me and was like, what are you wearing your fucking jeans on backwards for, you idiot?